The trailer for the Yeti had me pretty excited, as I love a good practical creature feature. But did it deliver?
Welcome to Deadsville.
Greetings, Boo Believers. Welcome to Deadsville Horror Talk. I'm your host, Ronin James, and today I'm going to review the Yeti. And no, I'm not talking about your fancy water bottle. I'm talking about the 2026 practical creature feature. Before we get into it, a bit about me. I am Deadsville director Ronin James Greene. I've been a stuntman and stunt coordinator for over 2 decades. You have seen me get unalived and blown up and crashed cars, jumped out of windows in a bunch of movies and TV shows. Most notably, you've probably seen me in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and maybe Gotham, the old Bruce Wayne TV show. And I've been on The Tick, The Punisher. I've done a lot of superhero stuff in my time. And I've also been the coordinator on some horror movies like Dark Hall and most notably Death House, which starred Kane Hodder, among others. A whole bunch of horror icons in that one. They had nicknamed it the Expendables of Horror, as the original script was written by Gunnar Hansen. So yes, I got to be the stunt coordinator on that one. And stunt coordinate for one of my stunt idols. It's pretty surreal. Obviously, being a stuntman myself, I grew up watching horror movies and idolizing Kane Hodder as a stuntman who's been in a ton of stuff, and he was a coordinator and everything else, but of course, he was Jason Voorhees. So yes, that was quite the experience. Check out Death House, streaming now. And of course, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, ding the bell if you're on YouTube, so you get the notifications whenever we release new content. Usually I do the podcast with my co-hosts, Steph Infection, Alexandra Surface, and Haley Hansen, the lovely ladies of Deadsville. But yeah, a couple of these movies I've ventured out and seen on my own because they were very limited releases. So this one, nobody else was able to make it, and it was only playing, I think, one showing on I want to say Saturday, I see it's Saturday, and one showing on Wednesday, something like that. Weird. But yes, after seeing the movie, I saw why. So before we get into that, like I said, make sure you subscribe, like, ding the bell, follow all my co-hosts on social medias, and especially follow Deadsville Productions at Deadsville 13 on YouTube, so that you get the newest content when it first gets released there. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get into the Yeti. So yes, I was very excited for this. The trailer looks awesome. The Yeti is a 2026 American monster film directed and written by Gene Gallerano and William Pichata in their feature directorial debuts. The film follows oil tycoon Mariel Sunday Sr. and adventurer Hollis Bannister, who have disappeared without a trace, with their last known location being northern Alaska, which prompts Ellie Bannister and Merrill Sunday Jr. to search for their missing fathers. But as the search ensues, a prehistoric monster is stalking them. Film is scheduled to be released on April 10th. Oh, so maybe it is coming out in a wider release. I guess I caught an early screening of it that they had just for that day, maybe. I don't know. I don't get it. All right. Yeah, that is the Wikipedia synopsis there. And that pretty much sums it up. The trailer looks really good. It's very well shot. It's very well lit. It looks very nice. I'm going to say some good stuff now. And especially in the trailer, because I even have it playing now while I'm doing this and looking at it. Like, it's got like this adventure movie, like Indiana Jones, like expedition aspect to it. It's a period piece. It's set in 1947. So, yes, the undiscovered Alaskan territory, and, not undiscovered, but the lesser explored Alaskan territory. So, you get a lot of, the set pieces look really nice, and the actors, I notably look like they are from the time period. Like, they did a really good job casting these actors because they really look the part of, 1940s expedition team. Very good job with the casting. Definitely those are not the problems here. It's shot very well. The practical effects are good. The creature looks good. The creature is a practical creature, and it looks good. That's not the problem here either. The problem is we don't get enough of the creature. I'm jumping right into my first takes here, and I'm keeping it spoiler free. I won't jump into spoilers yet. We'll get into some spoilers. I'll give you a warning before I get to the spoilers, so you can stick around. I'm going to keep it spoiler free for now. So I'm kind of working off of the trailer while I watch it here. There are some great moments and tense moments, and again, looks fantastic. Like the way the lighting is and the way it's shot, it looks like a classic monster movie. And that's why I was really excited from the trailer to see it, because I love the classic monster stuff. And I was like, yeah, we're getting classic, like, Yeti movie, Yeti ripping people apart. Woo, can't wait. All right. And so, like, you get the expedition, and it would have been, like, the potential is so great here. The potential is so great. No offense to Gene Gallerano and William Pisciata. This is their directorial debut, though I can't help but think that this concept in more experienced hands could have been so good. We could have had something so good. But instead, we get something so boring. I was so disappointed and let down. Just the cast real quick. I'm going to jump to them. Notably, Brittany Allen plays Ellie. She's probably one of the more recognizable faces. William Sadler is Hollis Bannister. He is Ellie's father who has gone missing. Ellie Bannister, yes, Brittany Allen, she has a very classic look to her, that old, 20s to 50s kind of movie star quality about her, her aesthetic and all. Merrill Sunday Sr. is played by Corbin Burnson, so he's a pretty legendary actor. If you're not, I know some of the old heads will remember Corbin Burnson from stuff like Major League, the baseball comedy, among other things. He's done a ton of stuff. Still looks great. He kills it. Again, the acting is decent enough for the most part, for the most characters. It's not the acting per se, it's what they're given to do. And I'm going to get to that. Eric Nelson plays Merrill's son. So, Corbin and William Sadler, they're the two fathers who are like the rich oil tycoons who were out in the expedition. They've gone missing in Alaska. They're the two, and they're our veteran actors, our big names. So this being a lower budget movie, obviously they probably brought them in for a couple days and had them, do their roles so they could get them out quick, and took a big chunk of their budget. And then they bring in a lot of these other actors and actresses who come at a much lower budget hit, much lower price. So yeah, some of the other players in here weren't quite on the level of Corbin Burnson and William Sadler, obviously, but Brittany Allen is pretty known actress. She's been in a bunch of stuff. I know I've seen her in a few things before. Heather Lind is in this, plays Mary Ann. Jim Cummings is Booker. Yeah, Dynamite Dan, Gene Gallerano. I'm going to assume that he is related. Oh no, that's Gene Gallerano. That's the director. Sorry. Jeez, look at that. Yes, Gene Gallerano put himself in the movie as Dynamite Dan. So here we are again. He's writing, he's directing, he's acting in the movie. These guys, man, I just got done. I did a couple reviews today, Boo Believers. The last one that I just finished recording was for a movie called Hunting Matthew Nichols, which I saw as a Scream Unseen at AMC, hoping that it was going to be this movie, The Yeti, because the runtimes matched up and it was rated R. And I was like, you go into this Scream Unseen situation, mystery movie situation, you pay $5-6 to go see the movie, and you see something you don't know what it is. And it's something that's going to come out to where they're using you as a test audience. So, that one, Hunting Matthew Nichols, he was written, directed, and co-starred, like one of the leads was also the same person. And it was their directorial debut, and they had done no other directing before this. They'd acted in a bunch of TV shows, and now they think they can direct. And look, no offense to these people. And no offense to the people in this one either. But here's another instance. I didn't know this when I was watching the movie. I didn't know this. Did William Pisciata put himself in the movie as well? Is he in there too? Let's see if William's in here as well. Did he take a part? No, doesn't look like he did. But yeah, Gene Gallerano made himself Dynamite Dan, who, look, not a bad character, whatever. But this is why your movie suffers when you are... First of all, it's your first time directing, and instead of just focusing on directing, you're giving yourself acting to do as well. I don't understand why people put themselves at a disadvantage like this. They obviously had the budget for actors. Like, it's one thing if you have no budget for anything and you have to put yourself in your movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there. I make content. Sometimes you're all you have. That's what content creators are nowadays. But when you get to the point where you have a budget for a movie, you should make a movie and just pick one lane. Pick one lane, especially if it's your first time doing it. If you've acted in a bunch of stuff and you want to act in it, then just act in it, man. Just act in it. If that's what you want to do, you want to be an actor, don't be a director too. Get somebody who knows what they're doing to direct. All right? And these guys wrote this thing too. So that's another issue entirely, because the writing in this is so bad. The character decisions, and also just the fact that, no spoilers here, it's written to, like, it's one of these movies where they don't want to show you the monster. We're here for a monster movie. Show us the fucking monster. Even if it's just pieces of it, like they show us little bits and pieces here and there. But again, I got so bored, I was fighting sleep at points in this movie. I was fighting falling asleep, and I really didn't want to be there with this movie. And again, this is the spoiler-free review. I'm going to tell you before I get to spoilers. I'll give you a warning, so hang with me. I'm going to complain about some of my pet peeves, and these are pet peeves in general to a lot of independent movies, especially that do this kind of stuff. But they apply to this one, and it sucks because the trailer was good. The trailer sucked me in, and again, the potential was good with the right creative team behind it. This thing could have been awesome. But I get a feeling that these guys wrote this, and then they just, I don't know who the producers are, but they jumped in to direct it. It might not have even gotten any rewrites because the script wasn't good. The script was not good. And especially if you go to all the trouble of having a prosthetic, a practical Yeti suit made, and it looks awesome. Use the fucking thing, man. Put it in the movie. I don't understand the mentality of spending all this money from your budget on a monster suit, and then you spend all the time in the movie trying to keep the monster off camera. Put the fucking monster on camera. And I get there's a school of thought to, make them want it, make them wait for it, but still give us something. Hit us. Like, this doesn't even do that. This movie spends so much time talking and questing and bad choices and bad decision making. Like, the characters are just so dumb. They're so dumb. Even when other characters are telling them not to be dumb and pointing out how dumb they're being, the characters still insist on being dumb. And I know it's a horror movie. That's what we get in horror movies. But this is just to the point where it's cringe. It's so fucking cringe and groan inducing. You're just like, oh, come on, man. Because you're playing me for a fool at this point. You, as a writer and director, think I'm an idiot. You think I'm dumb as a viewer, as an audience. You think I'm dumb because you keep putting and making characters do dumb shit that that isn't consistent with the stuff that you've already laid out. You just expect me not to be paying attention. Either I'm not paying attention or you're not paying attention as a writer to what you've already established for some of these characters. Because the way writers make these characters do shit that is so opposite of what they've already established previously only a few minutes before is mind-boggling to me. I just don't understand. And then again, do you not go back and proofread it? Do you not have it, bulletproof your script? Maybe, because I went to film school 20 years ago. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm old school. But, you know, when you write a script and you go back and you reread it, you're supposed to be shooting holes in your script. You're supposed to be shooting holes in it and finding those bullet holes and fixing them. That's what fucking script revisions are. That's why you don't just go with your first draft. That's why you have multiple drafts of a script. And scripts take long time to develop. And I just feel like this one was underdeveloped, so fucking underdeveloped. And it's a shame because there was a lot of really good stuff at play here. There was good cinematography. There was a great creature suit, practical effects suit. There was some decent actors in it that gave some solid performances of a shit script, of crap dialogue. They took crap and turned it, you know, they polished a turd, as you say. I can't say that they turned it into gold because I was still falling asleep. But, yeah, I don't know how much more I can say without spoilers, so I guess I'll wrap it up. Score-wise, man, I think I gave it like a 4 or a 5 maybe. But I was mad and disappointed. I'm going to say that. I think I gave it a 5 when I did my written review. Maybe I'm going to go with a 4 though, because I'm thinking about it and the missed potential, the squandered potential here. You know, you really could have had something cool. There's the period piece aspect of it, and they did a really good job with wardrobe and with, like I said, with the casting for the actors that really looked like they were of that period, of the 40s. Yeah, it is just so much wasted potential. It makes me mad. So I'm giving it 4 out of 10. For its the practical creature, and there was some gore in there, but here's another problem. The cardinal sin of creature movies and slashers and stuff like that is you're giving me too many kills off camera. Stop with the off-camera kills. The movie's R-rated. It's a creature feature. Kill people on camera. I don't understand this shying away from killing on camera other than budgetary constraints. You don't want to show me everything. And I get it. I'm going to get into the spoilers and talk about a few things. I'm not going to go too long on this in spoilers, but I'll get there after I take a quick break in a minute. But, you know, there was plenty of blood. There was plenty of gore in there. But you just didn't go hard enough, and especially when you do off-camera kills. Like, off-camera kills are for PG-13 movies. I don't want off-camera kills in my R fucking creature feature. Yeah, all right. So yeah, I'm going to move on to spoilers, but that was another big sticking point for me that really, really disappointed me in this one. There were a couple kills that were decent, where we saw the kill. There were a couple good practical kills in here, and there was plenty of gore. You would get that blood spray from off-camera type thing, you know. There was plenty of that to go around, but there was too many times we would hear the rah, and then it would cut away, and you know we wouldn't actually see the death. We would see the aftermath of the death. So, and again, that's kind of what happened in the opening scene, which we'll get to right after this. So. Let's take a break. Oh no, before we break, I'm going to go to Rotten Tomatoes for this. We'll do our, real quick, before I jump to spoilers, I'm going to do Rotten Tomatoes, and then I will give another heads up so you'll be able to dip out. If you haven't seen the Yeti and you don't want it spoiled, I will tell you when that is coming. But this right now is the Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 36% rotten score from 14 reviews on the tomatometer. The tomato meter. I don't know how you say it. Tomatometer. So Screen Anarchy writes, "The Yeti harkens back..." I'm going to go to the full review here. Full review. Here we go. Yeah, this is on Screen Anarchy. Oh no, this is a really long... Yeah, it's a really long review. We don't want to do that one. But they gave it a 1 out of 5. I'll say that. Movies in Focus gives it 3.5 out of 5. Here we go. Audience reviews. This is what we want. We want the audience reviews. 2.5 stars from Bradster69. The Yeti might star, but his ferocious bite doesn't land. Yes, I agree. Let's see, Jonathan A. Cool creature feature. Felt like an homage to the Universal monster movies I grew up with. The VFX were solid and Yeti was pretty menacing. I would like to see this genre make a comeback, but with more monster action. Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. The VFX were solid and Yeti was pretty menacing. There just wasn't enough of them. He also finishes it up with comeback, but with more monster action. Yes. I don't know why you gave it a 4 out of 5, Johnny Toe 72, when you, if you wanted more monster action. I wanted more monster action. Out of 5, I'm giving it like a 2 out of 5. Kitten Calfee says 1 star. I can forgive fake snow that doesn't melt and outdoor scenes shot in obviously indoor sound stages. Yeah, that's campy. We can go for that. But that requires... Excuse me. Do a cut right there. I'll come back to Kitten Calfee's review. All right, Kitten Calfee gives it a 1 out of 5 stars and writes, I can forgive fake snow that doesn't melt and outdoor scenes shot in obviously indoor sound stages. But that requires good writing and a smart script, which we certainly do not have here. Retro costume styling isn't enough to call a film camp. Success in that area requires comic irony and ridiculous sight gags, and there is none of that here. Give this one a hard pass. We walked out of the theater. And I can't disagree. Again, the retro costume styling, very cool. But there is no camp in the movie. It's very serious in its tone, and that hurts it a lot. Because it's very boring and the way it plays out. Because again, you're not getting enough monster action here. If you have, like Kitten says, I can deal with fake snow. I've had plenty of movies in fake snow. And yes, sound stages, film on sound stages all the time. Totally fucking know it was a sound stage they were filming half of that shit on when they're walking through the woods and it's fake snowing on them. I can live with all that. What I can't live with is a bunch of boring dialogue between characters that you haven't made me care about at all. Other than, my dad's missing, oh no! And the one girl didn't like her dad. The one girl felt neglected by her dad, so that was like the backstory that we got with her. Slight spoiler. All right. James says, 1 star, bad acting, bad storytelling, fake sets and backgrounds, unscary effects, melodramatic and silly. I'm not going to disagree with many of these 1-star reviews, but I will say I did like the Yeti's practical suit and all that kind of stuff. I liked the cinematography. It was shot very well, the wardrobe, all that stuff. But again, like Kitty had said, that doesn't make it a good movie. That doesn't make it camp just because you have campy 50s, 40s clothing and stuff. Movie L gives it 3 out of 5, says, love that a Bigfoot Sasquatch Yeti horror movie finally made it to the big screen. The practical effects were good. Movie was rushed and no wide-angle shots to wow us. The kill scenes weren't original enough or true to Bigfoot lore. None of the characters took a shot at stopping the Yeti. Very illogical. Lastly, Yeti is a Himalayan legend. I hope this movie is a stepping stone to a better Sasquatch movie on the big screen in the future. Yeah, I didn't want to get to that till spoilers, but there's so much source material out there. This could have been done better. Jonathan T, 1 out of 5. Too much talking, not enough Yeti. And Michael C was so boring, had to fight to stay awake. Yep, I'm going to end it there because those two pretty much, they summed it up. Jonathan T and Michael C summed it up. Too much talking, not enough Yeti, was so boring, had to fight to stay awake. That sums it up. It was so fucking boring. We did get, when we got the Yeti, it was cool. And it was nice to look at, but the story just put me to sleep. It was so boring. So, all right, well, there it is. There's your Rotten Tomatoes score. Anything else of note in here? I don't even want to get too much into this. I'm going to get to the spoiler stuff and talk about what really made me mad about the movie. Yeah, I want to get to that. So this is that spot, Boo Believers, where if you have not seen the Yeti and you don't want it spoilered, now's the time to pause the podcast, video, whichever way you are enjoying the lovely sound of my voice. Pause it if you don't want to hear spoilers, because I'm about to spoil the shit out of this movie, at least a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to spoil it a lot. And I'm not going to talk a lot about it in the spoiler section. I've already gotten into why I didn't like it. But yeah, here we go. Let's do this. Let's dig deeper. I got to break out the shovel myself here and dig deeper.
Digging deeper.
All right, spoilers on the Yeti. So yes, the opening scene, I'm going to get right to that one. Because while it was good and there was some tension built, I'd already seen it in the trailer, so I knew it was coming. I hate that about trailers. They give away everything. But yeah, if you've watched the trailer, then you've seen the scene. We can talk about it. Obviously, it's spoilers anyway. But there's a guy fixing a roof in a cabin. This is in Alaska in the snow, and everybody's trying to stay warm. And the girl wakes up because, of course, he's hammering away at the roof while everybody else is sleeping. Because that makes total sense. Everybody else is going to bed. They were all up talking about the expedition, and there was a hole in the roof, and they said somebody needs to fix the hole in the roof. And then they all went to bed, apparently, and in the middle of the night, the person decided to fix the hole in the roof. While everybody else was sleeping, he decides to bang, hammer, and bang, 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 and wake up the woman sleeping who comes out and sees, talking, blah, blah, blah. And he gets yanked up through the roof, and you hear the growling of the Yeti and rah, rah, rah. And right off the bat, off-screen kill. I get it. You don't want to show your hand. It's the opening scene. You want to do something cool. So at first I was like, yank him through. And I saw this in the trailer and I thought maybe they would just show us something else. But really they kill him off screen. And then they cut to a nice wide shot. This was pretty cool. I like the wide shot. And the bottom half of his torso bloodily drops to the ground in front of the girl who was down there. And we hear the scream and run, and cut to the Yeti, bang, cut to our end of our scene, end scene. So you got some blood and gore. It seemed like a pretty brutal kill, even though it took place off camera. And I was willing to forgive that one because I get it. You don't want to show your hand at all. You didn't want to show the Yeti at all. You should see the guy go up out of the thing. You hear the Yeti, blood, boom, drop the corpse. So I get it. I was okay with that kill off camera. But when more stuff started happening, kills happening off camera, then I was like, come on, man, we already did this. I gave you one. You used up my off-camera goodwill. My off-camera kill goodwill. You used it on the opening scene. You don't get another one now. You're an R-rated movie, god damn it. You don't get another off-camera kill. And yet we had half of the kills, at least in this movie, were off-camera. So cut to, now we cut back to like civilization and we go meet our Ellie character who hates her dad and boo-hoo, my dad neglected me and left me and boo-hoo. Get it, we get it, you're a stereotype. We get it. Even though you're also in the same business as your dad apparently and same she was a map maker and she had a bad knee. That's right. That's right, so clever, such clever writing. You guys pat yourself on the back for that. Inclusion and disability inclusion. You go, boys. So yes, they put this team together. And I was like, cool, we do the whole fucking campy, and again, I'm still into the movie here. I'm still into the movie because the opening kill, I was forgiving of that off-screen kill because I was like, cool, we got the kill, cool wide shot, the blood, the drop, the boom, cool, don't want to show your hand, don't give me any Yeti, I'm cool with that. I feel a cool payoff coming, I'm cool with it. Then we get this scene where he's assembling this team to go on the expedition. You got the son of the one rich oil tycoon is going to go look for his dad. So he's like, I assemble his team. And he does a press conference in front of a big American flag. And it's super like 40s campy, like fucking roll call. And he's, you see all the different characters who are assembling this ragtag team to go on this expedition to Alaska. So you're like, cool. You got like the cool guy with the, he's got the hurt face and he's got the mask on from, his war injuries. He's like the the security guy, and they bring along like some other girl who has no business going with them, and that becomes a thing later, of course. But yes, so you think that it's going, you get this, the assembling of the team and that whole like campy titles pop-up sequence that I love. And we're like, cool, we're off to a good start. And then from there, it's like instant nosedive. Everything just starts to fall apart. They are trudging, we jump to them trudging through Alaskan wilderness and the snow. And again, we have your fake sets and I'm fine with that. But then the writing is just so bad. Then we get they're trying to do character development, make us feel for some of these characters. And there's bickering between the two children of the tycoon partners. They don't like each other, of course, because why would they? She's, hates everything. And of course, at one point, the girl who shouldn't be there in the first place and is a liability disappears. They just disappear she just disappears while they're walking. Like, hey, where'd she go? Okay, I'll go look for her. And the guy and girl go to look for her, and they hear growls, and it's all foggy, of course, because they're in a sound stage, so it's foggy. And it obscures vision. And then he's walking with his gun, and this dude's like he's like Sergeant Rock. All right. He's Joe Military of the 30s, 40s. Like, he's seen some shit. He's got, but he's here for security. So he's looking, and they're coming through, and they finally see the outline. Like, they see the big shadow of the Yeti. You see this big shadow of the Yeti, and he's like holding the girl. He's holding her up, and she's screaming, oh, hell yeah. And it's like doing something. I don't even know. It was just like, it like picked her up, and there's time. They're like standing there looking, and they're cutting back and forth, and they're looking, and he's got his gun, and I'm thinking to myself, why isn't this motherfucker shooting the Yeti? Why aren't you shooting it? It's killing her. Why aren't you? And the Yeti just takes her, and I guess it smashes. It was hard to tell what exactly happened to her. It smashed her on the ground a couple times, I guess. It was just like, oh, boom, boom. And then it ran away. And he never shot it, never anything. He just stood there and looked at it. Was he peeing his pants? I don't know what the fuck happened in that scene. I have so many questions about the creative decision to have him not shoot at the fucking Yeti. I get it, it's your first time, and the chick behind you is probably shook, but you're supposed to be this fucking grizzled war veteran. You've seen some shit, dude. Half of your face was scarred up so much that you have to wear a mask not to creep other people out. You have been through the shit, and you're not taking a shot. You're not taking a shot, dude, for real. He doesn't take a shot. Not only does he not take a shot, I gotta take my glasses off for this one. Not only does he not take a shot, but the girl isn't dead. The Yeti like smashes her on the ground a couple times, and she's got like big open wounds in her side, I guess. There's wounds. And the guy comes up and he's like, oh no, and he takes her and he's holding her, and you're like, okay. And then he puts his hand over her mouth and smothers her to death. Putting her out of her misery, I guess like nothing's said, and he's just looking at the chick and she's looking at him, and nothing's said, but he just puts her out of her misery. I guess he just decides there on the spot that her injuries are so bad that there's no saving her. He can't take her to the cabin where everybody else is hanging out. He's got to just put her out of her misery and choke her out and kill her. He smothers her with his hand over her mouth and nose. Yeah, I just don't agree with the creative decision. I don't know. Was there not a medic? I don't know if they should have had a medic on the expedition. I don't know I don't know. Not shooting at the Yeti was a question. Did he think he was going to hit her? I don't know. Like, usually when you have that, there's like, he had somebody with him to be a foil. We didn't have to just like think his thoughts. There was another person, another character was with him, and she could have been like, shoot it. No, she's too close. That old fucking Hollywood trope. Come on, didn't you go to Hollywood writing school? Gene Gallerano and William Pisciata? Don't you know how to fucking fix these plot holes? Come on. You could have done that, but instead, I mean, the Yeti was so big, he had a clear fucking shot at it. He had a clear shot at it. We see it. It's huge. So yes, that pissed me off. And right after that, after that, it was hard for me to stay awake. He gets killed shortly after that. The Yeti, in the classic, they must have watched, was it Feast? I think the old movie Feast was. That was the horror movie with the creatures in the desert at the bar, where the fucking hero, the guy you think, he pops up, blow up the doors, we're gonna have to fight, da 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 da. He does this whole long speech, and right at the end of the speech, pow, the fucking creature kills him because he's standing in front of a window. Well, that happens in this movie. Yeah, the military guy does this whole big long speech once they get back to the fucking outpost where everybody else was already killed, and they're boarding in, and he does the whole, yeah, I'm gonna keep everybody safe if it's the last thing I do. Fucking standing too close to the window, dude. Come on. There's a fucking Yeti out there. You literally saw it, just killed his other chicken. You're gonna stand right by the window. Oh, so bad. So yes, I had some problems. I fell asleep for a little bit here and there. I kept nodding off and waking up. I think that one where the hand punches through the chest, the Yeti punched him through the chest, I think it was. It was on camera, so I'll give him that. But then we have more deaths off camera, and I vaguely remember how the rest of it plays out until the very end, where we get, and good, because I'm going to wrap this up and we're going to talk about this fucking super cliche ending. Oh my God. And now this has become another Hollywood cliche that they love. They love going to this. And I saw it was in Coyotes last year with Justin Long, but I actually enjoyed Coyotes. They did this fucking cliche, this trope here, but I actually enjoyed that one because the characters, and it was much better written from a character standpoint than this was. But they do the old trope of, well, one of the dads is still alive. They finally find one of the dads. He's still alive, and guess what? He's got a baby Yeti. He took a baby Yeti. This motherfucker kidnapped a baby Yeti. And that's why the big Yeti is pissed the fuck off. Shocker, big reveal. There's your big fucking twist. Like, we haven't seen this done 1 billion times before, but better. This is the new fucking, this is the monster trope, a 1 billion times we've seen this, but now they're gonna milk this well, I guess, because they're coming back to this again. So here we are. That's our ending. The baby Yeti, and of course the girl, the Ellie character, who is all mad and is our protagonist. She wants to return the Yeti, and Corbin Burnson, the evil corporate, not her dad, but her dad's partner. Turns out, I vaguely remember, because I was falling in and out of consciousness because it bored the shit out of me, but I vaguely remember that Corbin Burnson, the evil, he was the bad one. He wanted to keep the baby Yeti, and Ellie's dad, of course, wanted to give the baby Yeti back to the big Yeti, so that they wouldn't have all this bullshit happen. And no, evil corporate dude wants to keep it, so that's why, and so he killed her dad, I think. I think that's how it went down. I could be wrong. You can correct me in the comments if you want. Leave a comment if you saw this boring movie and managed to stay awake and pay attention and follow all of this bullshit. But yeah, that's the big finale. And I think at the end, the Yeti gets its baby back. And they all died happily ever after. I don't know, man. A fucking 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10, very disappointing, the Yeti. The trailer had my hopes up, and I really was looking forward to like a practical creature feature to take me back to like the 80s when we had a ton of them, and they used to be such a good time. And this one just didn't do it for me, and it's a shame, again, because there was so much potential between the way it was shot. Like, they obviously had a good DP. They obviously had a good fucking camera team and lighting team and everything else. The technical aspects of this were very well done. And they had an awesome creature suit that they just absolutely did not utilize enough. The creature suit looked great, and I wanted more of it, and you didn't get it. Plus, on top of that, bad cliches, bad character decisions, you know, so when this is what you're hitting me with, and off-screen kills. Can't forget the off-screen kills. So, you know, you did a couple things well, but then so much bad on the other side of it. So I'm feeling generous with this 4 because I saw a lot worse. So yeah, that's it. The Yeti, practical creature feature that disappoints, boo believers. A 4 out of 10 star. I don't recommend seeing this in the theaters. It might be worth putting on in the background maybe when it comes streaming if you really want to check it out. But yeah, overall, I was pretty disappointed with this one. Pretty disappointed. So I guess that's going to do it. If you've seen it, make sure you comment. Let me know what you thought. Are you, I just feel like another creative team. I would love to see a better Yeti movie or a better Sasquatch movie that really does something like this right. I like the idea of the mashup of the adventure movie, the expedition movie, and the creature feature. Just has to be done way better than this. I'm sorry, Gene Gallerano and William Pichata, but you failed. This one's a failure, and yeah, I can't recommend it. So 4 out of 10. That's gonna do it for my score for the Yeti. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Pretty disappointing. The Yeti gets a 4 out of 10 stars from me. There was a lot of promise there, but not a lot of delivery, and it's pretty disappointing. So the trailer had my hopes up. And maybe someday we'll get a really good Yeti movie. But this one is definitely not it. So let me know what your thoughts are, boo believers. If you've seen the Yeti in its limited screenings in theaters, what you thought. And yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, ding the bell for the latest content notifications on YouTube. And I'll see you on the next one. Until then, stay spooky.